Hello guys and welcome back to Reborn with Michael Watson. Today I'm talking about how I lived from the end for 6 weeks and it literally transformed my life. I went from someone who was just making it by to someone who is now abundant beyond his wildest dreams. And it just keeps coming. Because what we need to realize is that this is a simulation. This life that we're living in is a flexible reality. But we make a god of this reality, and I'm going to explain how I live from the end and how you can too. And I'm going to try and do it within 6 or 7 minutes because, as you can imagine, now I'm back to back with clients all day, every day, teaching them how to manifest just like you can too. So reach out at rebornwithmichaelwatsoncoach.com if you want to come and check that out too. So, guys, if you like Spirituality Simplified, also consider sharing and subscribing, and join my free Facebook group, The Healing Circle, which is linked in the description, and check me out on Instagram. So what is living from the end though first, guys? Well, Neville Goddard used these terms: act as if it's already yours, live from the end. This is how we manifest. This is how we create. Why does he say this? Because in the Bible it says, what ye ask for in prayer and believe is already yours, so it shall be. So it's the belief aspect of things that I started to tap into, because I was like, Neville has discovered this from the Bible. So I want to tap into the source material of what he means. So how do I believe? Well, then I wanted to then discover, if it is the Bible that's teaching us how to manifest, why don't I go to the person who is the greatest manifester within these stories, which is Jesus? And he was the Prince of Peace. So I started to realize that to assume the wish fulfilled was actually to be at peace with its creation. And I'm going to explain how it took me from someone who was broke to someone who is now more abundant than I've ever been in my life. And I'm going to explain it. Well, put it this way. I was someone who was so broke, so poor, problems just kept coming. Now, I was trying to live a good life by moving to Spain and doing all these things, and I've told this story many times, so I won't go into it. But what I am going to say is this. What I realized is that my relationship with money was one of fear, doubt, scarcity, and lack. So I was living in the assumption of a problem because I was always scared. So this started to make me think, how do I live from the end then? How do I assume the wish fulfilled? Well, for the first thing that I need to let go of is peace, is fear. Because once you let go of fear, the natural state of being is peace. Peace with what is. Now, Neville Goddard goes on to explain, if you can visualize your desire, then live in the energy of it and not get taken in by the shadows, he calls it, of reality. That is the gangsters of the mind, as Joseph Murphy would say. So when you doubt, the only reason you're doubting is because there's a habit of fear around that subject that you're trying to manifest. So for me, when it was financial, or if it's health, and I've spoken about my health before in the past, but with financial, I realize the shadows or the gangsters of my mind are all the fear. So every time I'm paying for something, I'm frightened. But if I was to assume that I was rich, then I would pay lovingly. Well, interestingly though, and tell me if you want me to make a video about this, guys, I work with 2 millionaire brothers in Dubai. And I can tell you exactly what I learnt from them in an upcoming video. If you'd like to hear that video, please do comment down below and I'll make that video for you guys tomorrow. But what I realized is that to live abundantly, I would be at peace with spending my money. To assume that I'm wealthy, then I would give my money away freely. So the first thing that I did was I noticed my reactions to when I was spending. So you can do this in any area of life. What are your reactions telling you about your health? What are your reactions telling you about selling the house? What are your reactions telling you about your skin condition? Whatever it may be. Every time you're responsive or reactive, your body is telling you what it really believes. You see, your mind is the thinker, but your body is the lie detector. Your physical reactions are going to tell you what you really believe. So I started to realize I'd get tense even paying for the weekly shop. So it's like I'm consciously trying to affirm and visualize and produce abundance, but my deeper self is always restrictive and worried and protecting and trying to look after everything. So your job is to deal with that energy first. Now, someone who is quite accepting of their faith already, like Neville Goddard was, may not get a lot of resistance once they make an assumption. And some of you out there may not get a lot of resistance, but this is for the guys who get resistance. You're trying to assume you're wealthy, but you're always reacting to the problem. So you cannot stay in the law of assumption because you're so reactive. So notice that tension, sit with that tension, breathe and observe it, let it release. Then you're going to visualize and affirm and sit in that energy. So I always would pay from a place of peace. And then I would say, this lovingly comes back to me multiplied. So I'm just telling you, from that point, it has snowballed now. So I lived like that for 6 whole weeks, and it snowballed from someone who was broke to someone who now, within that time, after 6 weeks, started to make more and more money. And now, years later of living in that assumption for many years, I am now in a place of true abundance. But this is how you do it, guys. You do it by not caring about the time frame, by understanding that once you have an intention, you've impregnated reality. A bit like Neville says about an elephant taking 24 months, a human 9 months. They all have their gestational process. So you impregnate reality with the idea. You then stop all the energy that goes against this idea, because otherwise you impregnate reality with the opposite, and you create like an acid and an alkaline, just neutral. So nothing changes. That's why your assumption isn't coming true. So you impregnate reality with the intention. You then work on the energy that is going against it by observing, breathing and releasing, and then reaffirming to that which you want, which was, I'm where I'm meant to be, doing what I love, infinitely prospered, infinitely blessed. And I have wonderful, well-paying clients. I'm fully booked. This is what I would say. Well, I'm sitting here now, guys, and I'm having to make shorter and shorter videos for you guys because I'm so fully booked with wonderful clients who are having great successes, by the way, which is what I affirmed also. So you get what you believe. You change your beliefs by letting go of fear around a subject, and then from a place of peace, affirming or visualizing. That's how you change. You see, once you believe something, once you convince your deeper subconscious mind enough, you are living in the assumption, because at that point, I didn't care whether I got the money or not because I just felt better. You see, you want to feel better. That's what you aim for. Once you feel better, then you will manifest. It is the order of things. You must live in the energy of abundance before you can attract it. Many people that you've known who've become successful, they always knew they would. Did they become successful immediately? No, but they were so married to the belief. And it's talked about this in the Bible, and I can go deeper into this as well. They were so married to the assumption that they will be rich that it was just a matter of time before they accepted their wealth, and it flew to them in avalanches. This is how you need to live too. You can do this with health and everything. This is how you manifest. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'll see you at the next one.